Are you thinking about that in fights when all these cameras on your face? Because that's part of like, I feel like that's part of why people want to get the UFC because of the glory. You know, I know that everyone fights for their own reasons, but then it's for, I mean, let's face it, right? Like you have cameras in your face, you're in the biggest promotion of all time. So when you're walking out, is that one of your goals? Just to be like kind of transparent. It's kind of like, you know what I mean?
I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
For me, no. And what's so cool is like, I would love to have a podcast to be able to interview a shit ton of fighters for this reason. Because for me, no, it's not. For other people, I bet it is. And I don't think it's even a bad thing. Like it's probably sick. Like it's probably something you fucking look forward to ever since you're a little kid of like, dude, like I can't wait for all these lights and cameras. Like, cause it's a sick feeling, dude.
Yeah. Dude, talk about that.
When you're, I got a couple videos on my Instagram of like highlight reels and stuff. And I think a couple of them start with like me walking out, but like, dude, that view from like standing in the tunnel, getting ready to walk out to the fight, like you see, you're in the tunnel. You can see that, you only have a partial access of the view of the arena, like all the crowd and everything. But then it's like, as you walk out, it just opens up.
Oh, dude.
Whoa.
Yep.
And dude, because you got cameras and stuff, with big bright lights right in front of your face. And it's like, it feels like a movie. It feels like, holy shit, this is a lot. You know?
It's almost like I made it kind of thing, would you say?
For sure.
Yeah.
That's 100, absolutely how it feels like, you know, but I don't think about any of that. Like, I don't think about, you feel it. My UFC debut, I was thinking about it, and it's like, dude, you stop being present. You're thinking about all this other stuff. Oh my God, I can't believe, you know, and then it's like, bro, you got to fight. Like you got a big job ahead. You better be right here locked in.
When does that turn on though? When you just said that, you know, it kind of opens up and then you're conscious of that, right? When you're walking out, and think about that, dude, like Allegiant, Perth, right? Where you're fighting. I couldn't imagine, you know, that's why I want to get like kind of the inside of it. When do you lock in, bro? Is it your walkout? Is Joe Schilling slapping you in the back and be like, hey man, we're right here. It's time to go. And I saw, you know, what's funny when I think I was looking through your Instagram. No, it was your story where you posted Joe Schilling going like, you know, he's smacking you in the back or something like that. What is that feeling like to be in backstage? I guess let's talk about I'm sure from him too, you know what I mean?
But that's the whole point of that. I love smacking the shit out of myself before the fight, because that sting, like, you know, like this, it hurts. It doesn't, but it wakes your body up. Like I don't want the first time that my body gets fucking blasted to be like in the fight and be like, oh God, you know, it's like, let's get that out of the way in the back, like get my body woke up, get used to that sting of you know, just some, you know, quick shock, you know, a little bit of pain.
Is that his method, or is it just you told him, hey, do this to me because of what you know just explained?
I don't even remember. I believe he said he used to do the same thing, but I asked him to do that because you see a lot of wrestlers and stuff doing it, you know, they'll smack their legs, smack their chest, like, but yeah, it's just, I mean, to me, it's just getting your body woke up, you know, of like, like, hey motherfucker, be ready. This shit's about to get crazy for a second. Like, yeah, you know, you just don't want that. You know, the worst thing to have happen is like to be unprepared going into a situation of like not just fighting, but anything in life. So like to get the shock, the surprise factor out of the way is always good. You know, like that's why I think my UFC debut, all those lights and everything else like that kind of caught me off guard. The professionalism of it caught me off guard, is because I didn't know, I didn't really know how to visualize it or like prepare myself for it or anything like that, because you don't know what you don't know.
Right. And exactly.
So
I like that. Being
there the first time, I was so shocked by all of it. Oh my God, I'm in the fucking UFC. Like, it's crazy. That is whenever it's like, well, this is why it's a freaking lifelong dream coming to pass. And
can you take me back to when you got that call? Like, give it to me in the we didn't talk about this on the podcast last time, and I don't think I've ever asked actually that to any fighter that's been on here. When you, what's the process in that, without obviously like kind of giving too much about the business, but this just like some random agent call you, or your agent calls you and like, hey, do you want to take this fight? Can you take me through the process? Because I think that's very interesting of how the matchmaking part, where it's like, nah, we shouldn't do that. It's too soon. What's the decision process and how much control do you have of that? Between you and your manager?
Yeah, I remember. I think it was a Sunday evening. It was like later in the afternoon, and I got a call from my manager, and he said, "Hey, do you want to fight in the UFC this weekend?" And I was like, "What? Like, that's crazy." I was like, "Of course." Like, what are you talking about?
And
that's the whole goal, right?
What promotion were you fighting before?
So I had a fight coming up for FAC,
okay,
which is was a UFC Fight Pass organization in Kansas City, Missouri. And I was actually fighting an ex-UFC fighter. I was fighting a UFC vet that had got released, and we were fighting for the FAC title. So I was fighting for a UFC Fight Pass organization belt,
part of the network,
which would have, I figured, was like, okay, after this, I'll be getting a shot in the UFC. And it's funny because I remember telling myself, hey, don't be shocked, don't be caught off guard. This whole surprise shock, conversation we were just talking about, like it's good to get that out of the way. Like to be prepared for the moment. Don't be caught off guard by it. And I was like, don't be caught off guard when after this fight you beat this UFC vet, you're 8-0 with a regional title, that you get a call from the UFC. Be ready for that. That way it doesn't hit me. I'm like, oh yeah, wow. Like the UFC.
Did you know that? Did you know that? Like you were like a hot prospect in their eyes. Did you kind of assume that, or was your manager just like, okay, well, we're 8-0, this is our position, and then he told you that? Or you're like, I'm in a streak, bro. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I was 7-0 at the time, and that's definitely the direction you want to head. Is like that's the end goal, is the UFC. So I knew like that's what I was working towards. So I just wanted to start preparing myself mentally, like, hey, don't be surprised when you get the call, And but it happened sooner than I expected, and it did catch me off guard.
Yeah, right.
Like, whoa, what? Like, yeah. So I got the call Sunday evening, and I was like, yeah, of course. And he was like, all right, I just wanted to check and make sure you're good, healthy, and everything else. And then essentially I got put in a group of names, and then the guy that I was going to fight in the UFC got to pick from that group of names of to kind of like choose his opponent, So anyways, I think it took a day or two. I think it might have been Monday evening, Tuesday. Yeah, shoot, that's crazy. I don't even really remember. I haven't thought about it much since then.
Yeah, right.
But anyways, it was a day or two, and then I got the call back and said, hey, they chose you. Like, get ready to go. Like, we're gonna. So then, all the travel started getting booked, like figuring out, okay, let's try to get you where we got to get you out there as soon as possible. I had to do all my medicals. I did all my medicals in one day. When I got to Vegas, that was a funny day.
Is that when you moved?
No.
Oh, okay.
This was
you mean
3 years ago or so. It was a little over 3 years ago. And I've been out here in Vegas for about a year and a half. But anyways, I got the call, and they told me like, hey, they chose you, like, let's get you ready to go. They were trying to book me flights to leave that night, and it was a little bit too late, so they couldn't get one. So I left early the next morning. And that night, the night that I got the fight confirmed that I was going to fight in the UFC, I had to, I spent like an hour on the phone with USADA. USADA was a drug testing agency at the time. I had to get put into the drug testing pool so I could immediately start getting drug tested so I could be eligible to fight. I had to pack up and get ready to go. I was calling my family like, yo, it's happening. Like, let's go. And then, so the next morning I had to get up at like 3 a.m. My flight was super early. I had a connecting flight. I flew from Fort Lauderdale to Atlanta, Georgia, and then from Atlanta, Georgia to Vegas. And my flight got delayed in Atlanta, the connecting flight. So I had to change my flight, and I got to Vegas even later. So I missed my first medical appointment. I was supposed to get I think I was doing the brain MRI first, and then so I had to jump I went straight from the airport to get my eyes dilated, to get my eyes tested. So as my phone was blowing up all day because it had just got released that I was like fighting in the UFC. So it was a big deal. Like, hey, Evan finally made it to the UFC. Yeah, and dude, my eyes, I couldn't read my phone. I was like, damn it, I can't. Yeah, because they dilated my eyes for.
Why is that? For
just to test your vision. They have to make sure you can see well. Just like liability stuff to make sure you're healthy to be able to go into the fight. So couldn't read my phone or nothing. run all day, and then I had to go straight to another exam. I had to get a physical exam, and then finally got to stop and go eat. Freaking starving, it's been a long day.
Just get some Chick-fil-A. No, you, man, that's probably not the case. You probably ate some beef and rice or something.
I think I went to Whole Foods and ate something from the hot bar there.
My bad. Why did I assume?
No, that's all good. I love some Chick-fil-A though.
I know.
But and then after that, later that night, I had to get a brain MRI. So all in one day, it was like wake up at 3 a.m, hop on one plane, missed the second one, so I had to get a different flight. Then I went straight to get my eyes dilated. I freaking couldn't see all day. I had to get a physical exam, and then finally went and got some food for the week because I still had to cut weight. I had to make sure I'm eating the right stuff.
Yes.
And then got a brain MRI, and then I finally went and got checked in at the Fighter Hotel, and that was during COVID. So it was it was around the end of COVID, but they were still isolated. They were at the Residence Inn, which was they had a Fighters Hotel that was completely separate from everybody else.
Right.
So it's not like now, like when we're staying at like one of the big fighter hotels here in Vegas, where just the general public is also allowed. It was like just a hotel for the fighters because it was all isolated and locked down still. But yeah, man, it was everything was just happening like that, whirlwind. And then I had to, the next day was like poster signings and getting my equipment checked and like I remember I was talking to Forrest Griffin and dude, that's like a crazy moment for me.
That's
Forrest
crazy
Griffin,
moment.
Yeah, Forrest Griffin's like literally one of him and Stephan Bonner are like one of the fights that I specifically remember from a young age that like got me into the fight, so I'm finally sitting across the table talking to Forrest Griffin and I'm like, it just seems like so much stuff's happening all at once, right?
Such a stand-up guy too, right?
Oh,
like he goes to Syndicate. He's good friends
the
with
best.
John.
Forrest is like one of the coolest.
He's
down to earth
cool.
dudes.
Yeah. He teaches tips on just a regular Muay Thai class. You know what I mean? Like a beginner's Muay Thai class. And other people don't recognize that. You know what I mean? It's like people that obviously haven't watched the UFC in the past. And then I'm sitting there like, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, oh, that's cool. This older guy that's clearly got
Yeah. Some people are thinking like that.
And
that's why it's so subjective.
it's like, that's a legend.
Crazy. Yeah. What's going on, guys? If you're enjoying this podcast, please don't forget to like the videos and subscribe to the channel. Only if you're getting value out of it on YouTube and also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to leave a rating and follow. And also, I also write a blog newsletter from what I learned from my incredible guests that I have on. So sign up for the email list and get updates on the podcast.